All right, welcome back to the KnivesFAST channel, guys. We have a cold steel knife. So all of you that are constantly saying you should review more cold steel knives, here you go. Now, I have reviewed quite a few over the years. I only really own one, and this is the medium Luzon. One of my sons gave this to me, and I kind of enjoy this one. It's pretty cool, pretty cool, but I don't have a lot of cold steels. I don't have any more except that one. But I've had a lot come through. Now, by the way, say hello to Ren and Stimpy, Powder Toast Man, Login TV, and let's keep getting started. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so and hitting that notification bell. Now, this one comes from Justin over at White Mountain Knives. And good news, these are available. I did see this at Blade Show. I went over to the Cold Steel booth, and there was Jimmy Slash, and he showed me this guy. JB and I were over there, Big Red, and I kind of knew that I was going to need to review this one. Now, it is pretty interesting. Now, you guys know Demco makes a thing called the Shark Lock, and Demco has kind of parted ways with Cold Steel, and Cold Steel has new ownership, and they suddenly come up with this Atlas lock. Now, I'm no expert. I haven't taken this knife apart, but to me, the Axis lock feels similar to a Shark lock. Now, here we go. I didn't have this out, but obviously, I mean, there are differences. The Shark lock is way up front here. The Atlas is back here, and Cold Steel will tell you it's a completely different lock. So again, don't listen to me. I don't know because I don't know the inner workings of it. They said there's a new pin, there's differences. But I just thought I'd point that out. Now, you do have this sculpted G10, milled G10 handle with contours. Yeah, very nice. But it is a big chunk. Now, for those of you that were worried, Cold Steel might leave their roots, they have not. This is a big, chunky beast of a knife. You have a very tall, and yeah, I'm going to read specs, but we're just going to do this real quick. Good grief. Let's see. About 1 3/4 or maybe a little bit more tall. So it is very, man, I wasn't even at the tallest point there. Hold on. Yeah, still 1 3/4. And it is very, very tall and chunky. Now, does it carry terrible in the pocket? No, it doesn't. You do have a almost to the butt of the knife pocket clip, and it is reversible. It does not have a cutout. It just sits on there, and it does have rounded screws, but it's tall enough that, to me, it wasn't a big deal. But we'll come back to this clip. Well, let's just do it now. This clip is not good for me. This guy is bent down, and even with the thin cargo pants that I wear, I had to two-hand bend this guy to get it in my pocket. Look how low that is. If you're wearing jeans, I wore it last night with some thick khaki shorts. I could not get it in there at all. I just had to drop it in my pocket. This clip is not good for me. This has to come up a little bit more, or it has to just be redesigned. Now, it is a short clip, which I do like. It's just not great to me. Now, I think the reason they went with a short clip is even for a guy with kind of bigger hands, you feel that clip, but it's not a hot spot because, again, your finger is sort of falling at least close to that piece there. And I think that may be why they did this. Now, you have a nice flat spot here and a, kind of a harpoon for your thumb to sit in. That feels pretty good. However, and you do have really good swedging here. You have a satin finish, vertical here and horizontal here, and it is filthy because I have used it, so let me wipe it real quick so you can actually see. I mean, the blade is very pretty. These are made in Taiwan, by the way. Did come loaded with oil, dripping out onto the blade, which is fine. You do have a choil, by the way, but we'll talk about that some as well. Now, here's my issue. This is totally 90 degrees right here. All the way to here, there is no chamfering. So when you push down, if you're at an angle at all, that hurts a lot. If you're flat, it doesn't feel great, but it doesn't hurt. It definitely does not feel good. It should be chamfered. Now, if you're out here, yeah, not great because you got swedging. You do have engage out here. I do like the thumb studs, really nice. and the Cold Steel logo with the S35VN and Taiwan. Now, fairly thick scales, and you do have a backspacer and a lanyard hole. And to me, this grip feels really good. And you guys know I love a forward finger choil, especially sort of a 50-50, which this is really quite not because you've got this, but you do have plenty of room. But here's the problem. This is so thick right here that when I go to bend my finger around it, that does not feel comfortable. If you just do this, like this, it's not bad. But if you want to kind of get a really good purchase on this and do this grip, that does not feel comfortable because it's too thick right there. Man, do I sound like I'm picking on this poor knife? I actually like it, but I'm picking on it. Now, you cannot get to that tip. I tried. Nice on the thumb studs. Now, the first time you flick it, you're going to say, wow, this thing is light. But and detent-wise, which is really a spring, it is very light. It comes out extremely easy. But if you get your thumb and you load up and you do that, it works well. Middle finger flick is hard for me. Gosh, because of the spring, yeah, I can't do it. I have, but I wouldn't say I can readily. Now, drop-wise, if you get your fingers out of the way and pull this, it's coming down. So that is very nice. The action is good. It is, I believe, we'll see what the specs say, but I think it's riding on bearings. And it does come down pretty good. So I saw another reviewer say a fidgety knife from Cold Steel. Sure, I think you could call this fidgety. I wish it was a little stiffer on the open. But close-wise, yeah, you can fidget with this knife. It's a little awkward because you're not here, you're back here. Now, the strength of this lock is awesome. Stasa stabbed this into a tree. You can look at his video and stepped on it, and it went nowhere. Lockup is phenomenal. It is not going anywhere. Really, really nicely done on the lockup. I'm impressed. It is, let's see, centered. Yep. Man, it might be off to the show side just slightly, but it's nitpick city at that point. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. And again, I would call this a full review because I have used it and cut with it quite extensively. I carried it quite a bit. I didn't take it on the trip I was just on because it's not my knife. Let's see. All right, we're going to go right here. You can see the geometry of this flat grind is, even though, it's a super thick stock here, but it comes down pretty good. And, if you want to use this as a cardboard annihilator, yeah, this will definitely do it if I don't screw it up. So there you go. Okay, two more things. Well, first of all, let's clean some of this cardboard up. I'm always making a mess, guys. Oh, goodness. All right. So, first of all, comparisons. So, since we have this out, we'll do the medium Luzon. It's taller, but shorter. And then you have the Rat 1, which is longer, both in blade and handle, but not as tall. Let's do these closed. So I know a lot of you would know what a Rat 1 looks like closed. So let's just do this for you. We'll line them up. Yeah. So it's way taller. way taller. Okay. And then the Rat 2. Oh, by the way, I got one more thing. And again, this is going to sound like I'm piling on, but it's okay. But it just happened. So we will see. It's smaller than the Rat 2 is quite smaller. So there you go. All right. So let's go over the one more thing here. I thought I was done, and then I opened it and got kind of pinched. So when you open this, if you're sort of gripping like this, and that's where I naturally am, is sort of like this, that lock, when you get up here, it springs that way. All right, let's see it. Pop. And so if you're gripping it pretty tight and opening it, it scrapes your hand. It really does. And that is some serious jimping right there. And by the way, there's no jimping here at all. But yeah, I have felt that numerous times. If I'm really bare, man, I felt it that time too. So anyway, All right, so here's the thing. If you just want a beast of a knife to cut through things and you just enjoy these big beastie knives. Oh, I haven't done specs yet. Let's do this. By the way, this is $184.99 at White Mountain Knives, and you can get 10% off with code KnivesFAST at checkout. And I'm sorry this video is a little longer. It is closed 4.63 inches, blade length 3.5, S35 VN. It's a plain satin finish clip point. And then you've got black G10 handle, thumb stud opener, lanyard hole, and it weighs 6.72 ounces. So again, this is a beast of a knife. The funny thing is, when you look at it, the handle is way larger than the blade, not lengthwise. Again, it's fine in the blade to handle ratio part. Ow. It's just, it just feels bigger, and you almost feel like the blade should be a little taller. Is that weird? I don't know, but it's already almost 7 ounces. So anyway, so let's sum this up. Do I think the lock on the Engage is phenomenal? Yes. Do I think this is a great step in the right direction for cold steel? Absolutely. I cannot wait to see what else they do with this mechanism. For me, this one, even though it's a big knife, is not for me. It doesn't pass the CEO test. Does not feel wonderful in the choked up grip. And the angled parts, the 90-degree parts of the steel where your thumb lands, do not ergonomically pass my tests. It is a cutter. It is phenomenally strong. And so it's really up to each of you. So let me know what you think. I kind of feel like I'm piling on, but that's kind of how I feel about this one. So I know some of you will absolutely love this, and please feel free to accost me in the comments. I probably deserve it. But I have to give my point of view and my perspective, and I encourage you, go watch 3 or 4 other reviews on this one. You may hear totally different things because people's hands are different, their likes, their dislikes are different. And there you go. So thanks, Justin, for letting me check this one out. Check out White Mountain Knives. I'll have the info down in the description. Give me a thumbs up, hopefully, unless you really hated this, and then give me a thumbs down, and give me a comment down below. And guys, thanks so much for watching the Knives Fast channel.